Fraser. I'm your sales mentor. I'm so glad that you're here for another episode of Whiteboard Wednesday. Something I want to talk to you about. I was thinking about this, and have you ever been in a consultation where you're sitting down with somebody and you're really trying to understand the why? What's the real thing that they actually brought them over to the gym? A lot of times trainers find that difficult because when they're working with people, they don't give them information. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a couple of things that I utilize in my goal setting and in my consultation to really help people get to the goals they want and actually make people want to move forward with the process. Okay, let's get started. So we got 3 things that I really pay attention to: needs, goals, time frame, smart goal setting, and 10 ticket questions. Utilizing the closer framework, I'm going to leave a link in the description or somewhere at the top where you guys can watch the closer framework video. But the biggest thing that I pay attention to is this. Okay, got my whiteboard, got my marker. So let's say, for instance, I have Wesley. And Wesley just came in and he has a goal. His goal is to lose weight. Now, Wesley comes in, he tells you he wants to lose weight. Now you have to ask him, how much weight do you want to lose, Wesley? And he tells you, 30 pounds. And then he tells you, you ask him, when do you want to lose that by, Wesley? And he says 6 months for his trip to Bora Bora. Alright, so what we have right now is what's known as needs, goals, and time frame. A need is just classified as whatever the person says that's not measurable. Want to lose weight, want to get stronger, want to be able to do something that's not measurable. The measurement, the goal is the measurement. So when you look at that, that's the lose 30 pounds. That's the want to increase my deadlift, increase my bench press by 40 pounds, whatever it is. And then the time frame is when you want to accomplish it by. Now you can add in terms of the time frame, when you want to accomplish it by, what's coming up. Okay, so once you figure out that, that's my first step, finding out what is their needs, goals, time frame. Then from there I go into SMART, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time frame. So I already have the time frame. I have some specifics and I have some measurables. Well, specifics I'm not really there yet. I really need to understand what does 30 pounds actually mean. In order to do that, I have to really clarify what 30 pounds means to them. So that's what the C stands for on closer. Clarify. What does it mean 30 pounds mean to them? I need to understand, because a lot of times 30 pounds can be a lot different for a lot of different people. 30 pounds for one person can be visceral fat. 30 pounds for another person can be just fitting in their clothes, like fitting in a pair of jeans better. And 30 pounds for another person can be wearing that power suit they want to wear. You need to understand what is their why. Once you understand that, you're great. Now the way you're going to do that is by not asking why. There's a great book, it's called Advice Trap. Highly suggest you read it. It talks about this, where when you ask why in a coaching scenario, people become defensive. So avoid asking the question why. I know it's very easy to ask it, don't do it. What you're going to do instead is you're going to go through these other questions. How, who, what, where, when. All of this equals the why. So the how, who, what, where, and when equal why. So when you avoid asking why, it gives you other questions to ask. Now, can you ask why? Of course you can, but avoid it. And I mean, because it's a very easy question to ask. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? You can ask questions like this. What makes it so important to you? When you get there, what's something that you want to be able to do? So that's like interchanging or combining questions. How's it going to feel when you lose the 30 pounds? Right? These are questions you want to be asking. So from there, with SMART, specific, measurable, now I want to get to the attainable and realistic. The only way I can get to the attainable and realistic is by one thing in the closer, which is overview. So this is label. So in the overview section, your main goal is to figure out what have they done before in the past. So Leslie, what have you done before to lose 30 pounds? and they're going to tell you a load of stuff, or they're going to tell you nothing. You need to understand where they come from, because the only way you can know if it's attainable and realistic is if they achieved it before, how did they achieve it? And B, if they've never achieved it before, what's the strategy now, right? You want to go through the strategy, because that's going to get you the specifics in terms of what the goal is. So we talked about this before, which is the 3 things that equal results are FAN: fitness, accountability, and nutrition. So in my overview section, this is where I go over FAN. So I say, okay, so Leslie, tell me about what you've done before in the past. I went to the gym. Cool. What else did you do? I went to go see a doctor at a different time. I quit going to the gym, and then I went to a doctor to see about a naturopath about my diet. Naturopath diet. When people try and get one or the other, and what they're not getting is all 3. This equals results. With all 3, people aren't getting results. And it sometimes is a money thing, but it's never actually a money thing. It's how much are you actually willing to invest into getting results? We have to figure out a solution. And a lot of times people aren't willing to figure out a solution, but they're willing to go through this again. A lot of people have already tried the gym. They've tried tons of things. They know what to do, but they're not getting results. We as the coach, we have to be able to explain that to people and have that conversation with people. From there, you go to attainable and realistic, and it's either attainable and realistic or it's not. And based off of what they're telling you, based off the overview, and then also where they're going or what they're doing, at that point, then you can know, is this attainable and realistic? From there, I go into 10 digging questions. So once I get the goal, I go 10 layers deep. 10 layers deep, asking the hows, who's, what's, where's, whens. And I keep on going through it until I figure out the real why, right? But at that point, once you understand the why, that person is now emotionally attached to this goal. So Y equals E. Y equals emotion. Once you understand their why, then you actually understand what it is that they need to do in the gym and how you can help them. A lot of times in the gym, when we're working with people as trainers, we really have trouble doing this, goal setting. And we're going about trying to sell them training and get them on stuff. And it's not about getting them to say yes to what your package is. It's about getting them to say yes and committing to themselves, their goals, the thing that they said. And so the biggest thing, I was talking with my trainers today, we were in a meeting, and when I figured out, this was kind of on the rift, I had a question, which was, how do you go through this with someone that's never trained before or never worked out? And the vast majority of the people that I sit down with are people that have never worked out before, or they've tried it and then they failed. So how do you go through it and really navigate? Well, one, as a coach, I really start figuring out the questions I need to ask. Number 2, I really need to understand, this is where empathy comes in. I know where this person's coming from, and the dialogue that I'm having is surrounded around the fact that a lot of people don't do well. A lot of people don't come into the gym. A lot of people don't commit to their diet. A lot of people don't commit to their exercise program. A lot of people, let's face it, they are going around and spiraling in circles, chasing after the same goal. So once you understand that, your main goal as a coach is just to figure out, what are they willing to commit to, and what do they need you for, and how do you make that happen? That's it. And here's the price. The price is the price because it's a service. It has nothing to do with anything else. And the service comes down to how much is that service rendered. We can talk more about how you can increase your value or increase your prices based off of certifications and knowledge, and that's a whole other thing, because I can guarantee you, if you're spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year on education, how much should your clients be paying you? How much is your training worth? You need to understand these things. So when you're asking for money, whatever it is, $300, $700, $600 a month, or $1,000 a month, whatever it is that you're asking for, how much is it that you're valuing yourself and your services. Your services is the first line of defense for people before they have to go to the hospital, before they have to take medication, before they have to do anything else. And your services are worth it. Alright guys, that's it for just this episode of Whiteboard Wednesday. Hopefully you got something out of it. Actually, I know you got something out of it. Do me a favor. Shoot this to a friend. Shoot this to a fellow trainer. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to drop some more content like this on a regular basis. Alright, peace.